Your mama. Yeah, that's it. I don't know what to do this time.
You know what? That's better than screaming. I'll take it.
Ah!
Oh, startled me.
Don't underestimate me, man.
I made the mistake of going to plate number 5 today, audience, when I went to the family buffet with my fam. Like, oh God, I'm so ashamed of myself.
Yo,
So
how many stories? How many stories do we need about family until we finally realize just come together, bro? Like, why do we need like 500 stories about a family coming together, bro? Until y'all just learn to be a family in real life. Damn.
This movie's not about family.
It's about all.
This movie actually throws away.
That's what I heard. Yep. Wow.
No amount of money
you
can pay me will get me to go watch this movie. I would rather claw out my eyes and eat them and shit them out than go see that movie.
Jesus Christ.
Well, let's wait until we actually get to that topic to around our thoughts on it.
But this is my message to the audience. Start being a family so we don't get movies about being a family. All right? I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this shit.
Nah.
But you know you should do. You should subscribe to join our family, our Ohana.
It's not even their fault, man. They got the original premise of the film. It wouldn't even been about him, but that's just a tagged on last lesson.
If we had the resources, audience, if we had the resources and time, I would definitely try to edit out that little clip of the Suicide Squad. I lost one family. I'm not going to lose another. You know. Yeah, if you could say, if you could pull a bunch of people you've met for a day at prison, your family. I mean, what's the bar at that point? You know, like.
Well, we'll get into we'll talk more about Ohana later. But
who the hell is that?
Ohana. It means family.
No, on the fucking thumbnail.
Oh, what?
Oh,
what?
Isn't it that chick from Riverdale on the cover?
That's Sadie Sink, isn't it? Is that what it is?
Why the hell is she there?
She's a part of the Spider-Man.
I mean, that's
not a part of the news. Okay.
I thought you.
The Sadie Sink shit was old. Okay.
Oh, okay. I was like,
the confirmation that Mary Jane and all that just happened today.
Okay.
Oh. Well, I've been hearing about rumors about this chick potentially being Mary Jane or some
Miss
form of
Riverdale?
Spider-Person.
They think she's gonna be. They think she's gonna be Toby's daughter.
Okay. We'll get to it when we get to it. All right. Let's just. You got something?
No, I just want to know if she was there, bro. I was very confused.
Gotcha. Well, how many other what other redheaded character do you think she was going to be in this picture? You know,
the reborn.
I don't know the news topics, bro. I just got here.
She could have been young Natasha. Okay, we could have gotten a time displaced Natasha in this movie.
Well, we know they could do that dumb thing where they wanted to tell Peter Parker's mom backstory.
Yeah,
this could have been Mary Jane's aunt.
Oh wow!
Yeah, guys, welcome.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it, guys. So, hey, it's my God.
Wait, you get over here. That's gonna hold on.
Okay, let me do it. Welcome to Comic Fanatic Live, news and reviews of the week, audience. You're here.
All right.
With Cryptid. That was.
He really was here, and now he's gone.
He got blipped.
Well, welcome back to Fanatic Night Live. We talked about it. We talked about this off camera. I said that let me do the intro of your Wi-Fi spotty. He said no. Okay, so all right, so now I'm doing it. Okay, welcome back to the news and
reviews. You guys hear me now?
Yes, I hear you. Yes, I told you. This is why I said let me do the intro.
Okay, do it.
Welcome to Fanatics. We're talking about the news and reviews of the week. On our special Monday nights, we will be talking about the media news and the comic news. Okay, and we got a stacked list for you guys today. We're gonna be talking about some Avengers, Doomsdays, The Punisher, and also other things. But before we get into all that, let's introduce ourselves. It is I, Jake Tylenol, the one and only, the one who discovered Ohana today for the second time. Because I've only seen these films twice, I think. Whatever. That'll be Cryptid. We're moving around. Cryptid, you're next.
Hey, I'm like, it should have been a movie
Oh.
night. But y'all keep picking stupid ass films.
Hey,
Okay,
leave my
okay,
stupid
well,
ass films alone.
gotcha. Well, anyway, I'm Crypto Seeker 415. Yada yada. You know the deal. You'll see. My intro will be for tomorrow. So move on.
I'm Andrew. Go with.
Yeah, that was Austin. I'm Richter, also known as Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he. And this fucking wake is gonna be the death of me, guys. It's gonna be the death of me, and also fuck Disney live action movies.
And together we form the Phanatics, and we talk about the news and reviews of the week. And today, on our special Mondays, we talk about the media news. I already did this part, but we went out of order, so I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like a whole different vibe now. But yeah, that said, we have our social medias, which is responsible for. So which, let us know.
Yeah, because that's what I do best. First of all, subscribe to us, because once we get to 100 subscribbles, you might get something really cool. And so if you want to see all that and go down, you can follow us on Twitter at ComicFanatic69. That's where you get the links to all the episodes if you don't want to press the notification button, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but whatever, not important. If you want to also see my progress on anything else I'm working on in my life, you can follow me on my Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. You can also follow me on my TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch. Whenever I decide to go back on Twitch, we'll see what happens, at witch_of_Jotunheim. I do try to post stuff on there when I get the motivation to do so. Woo! Anyways, you can also follow me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Northstar Aria. You can also find me on Red Note / Xiao Hongshu at Witch of Jotun with a U this time. And if you want to be ever so kind and support me financially, I do have a Ko-Fi in my link tree as well, which should always be put in the description of all of these videos, because I have too many socials.
I'm about to get one too, man.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta help me with these bills. This is killing me.
We got bills to pay, and I don't make enough to actually be able to do all the stuff I like to do. So support me on Ko-Fi. Yeah, I try to post on there every once in a while, especially art. So stay tuned for that. You know, Austin, he's doing his thing. He's doing his best. That's all we can say. Cryptid's Wi-Fi keeps going out, so wish him luck, everyone. F's in the chat. And Jake, what you doing?
I'm still stuck on Hawaii, bro. I'm still trying to find the plane out of here, bro. It's hard.
Yeah, you got to go back to Bionicle Land.
I do, but I need help, bro. Like, you know, them plane tickets, they're expensive, especially when
so support me on Ko-Fi so I could buy a plane ticket.
Well, I'm not supporting you. I need to get back to the Bionicle universe.
Yeah, but that's different. Dude, just hit me up. I'll send you a portal.
Okay, all right.
So support me on Ko-Fi so that I can buy the plane ticket, so that I can, send Jake a portal.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You know, we can hang out for a bit, and then I'll just send you home.
There you go. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Well, that's it, Cryptid. Do you think your Wi-Fi can hold out for the next topic, this transition?
Yeah. Let's just go for it. All right. With that, let's start off.
Avengers Doomsday.
God, did you
got pushed back?
Look at the.
Did you cut out the movie? Switched.
This should have been expected, to be honest.
Okay.
Funny as hell, dude.
Doomsday being delayed should have been expected, especially when we found out recently some guy snuck on set.
I saw that video.
So,
I guess
we should have saw this coming. Obviously, this movie had 4 major potential leaks. Not only got sneaking on set, but all the concept art and all the other stuff. So they're probably going to rework some small stuff at the beginning of the film.
But we were also told that then the Russo brothers recently come out. Actually, earlier today, we found out that like Russo brothers were like, "Hey, just so you know, Tony's not the name of this movie." Was that what that was about?
3 days ago, he said the reason the movie's getting delayed is because he can't find his other brother. Some shit like that. And then the next day he clarified and said some shit like Tony Stark's death is going to be important to this movie. And that's all I saw.
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah, but before he got delayed, he was like, "Oh, my brother's missing. He's been missing for 17 days. I don't know where he is."
The other Russo brother?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he was joking. And so people like,
Did
bro,
you
what the
read
fuck?
it or did you hear it?
I read it,
Yeah.
Okay,
but
like,
it's hard to tell like intention over text.
They should have put like on the side. He did a little chuckle or something.
When I had to look up what the brother missing, I couldn't find anything actual about it. So
Yeah.
So who knows what's gonna happen, honestly? And especially with how many stars are in this fucking movie. Yeah,
I
you're
also
gonna.
think the quote unquote, I won't say failure of Thunderbolts, but the not huge success of Thunderbolts also might affect something about this movie. Cause I honestly feel like they're trying to wait to see what happens with Fantastic Four even more.
I swear, if the Fantastic Four movie is god awful,
Okay.
I'm gonna be so pissed if Fantastic Four's ass. Because these motherfuckers made me watch
the
Fan
Fantastic
Four
Four
stick with
movies-
them
Well, who the fuck did
All
that? I didn't want to.
Fantastic Four needs to do
a
is
while ago.
Yeah, they
It
did
was
it. You
so
just fucked
boring.
up.
the only thing Fantastic Four needs to do is just be a decent film. It needs to be a decent film, That's it.
But like I said, they need to push it back. It should not be that close to Jurassic Park and Superman.
Just by like a week.
Like at best, I see this movie making
Again.
450. But guess because how close all the movies are.
Too fucking close, I can tell you that.
Jurassic Park gonna make $1 billion. Superman has more hype. Fantastic Four should be pushed back.
Never.
Gotcha. All Fantastic Four needs to do is be a decent film. That's it. Do you guys hear me now?
Yeah, no. For us, all it had to be decent. But them, they want money.
Yeah.
If Fantastic Four doesn't make that much
Yeah.
money, I guess he's not getting a sequel at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Think like we took a chance. We gave them their own universe. We gave them our own style, and people still didn't want to go see that shit.
They don't like originality.
Mm-hmm. They're like, we gave you
We gave
guys
them
the Galactic,
and they still didn't.
want.
Well, I put a man in a
Gave you
purple
guys the
suit,
Galactic.
told him to eat the damn planet, and they still didn't see it.
Yeah,
What are
they
you
still
doing?
didn't see. They still didn't see.
Yeah.
Galactus do a botched
But,
abortion.
That reminds me.
Yeah.
So in Marvel Rivals, they're doing the Future Foundation suits. Of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And they decided they changed the fuck out of Reading suit. It's not in the Future
Ooh.
Foundation suit.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? That's not the Future Man. I was like, what's
Yeah,
going
so
on?
it's like, I love it. So I get that you want to change it because they're just standard suits, and you want people to buy them. But if you can't be like, oh, its first appearances in Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four. This suit's not in this fucking book.
Yeah. I just want to look like, where's the
I'm
suit
a fan of this book. I don't want this bullshit.
Wow. False advertisement, audience. False advertisement.
Bro, they got that man look like he You remember how they kept doing those 3,099 suits? It looked like one of those for Reed.
The 2099.
Oh, wow.
No. In certain games, they do 399 now, and they all like super
Gotcha.
futuristic. That what this Reed suit looks like.
See, Jake, we didn't reach all the way to 330.99, man, and you said we wouldn't. Like,
Yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
also speaking of Fantastic Four, so we got the first look at the Baxter Building recently, and everyone in the comments was making 9/11 jokes, and so I found a really funny picture, and then I sent it to Jake, and let me see if I can.
Is that something you're saying on air?
Yes, because it's funny. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Where did I send it to him?
I mean,
Yeah,
it
he
is
did not
more-
respond. He did not respond in chat, guys.
Yeah, they do that bullshit sometimes.
It
was
is more
funny. It
of
was a
that,
funny
yeah.
meme. No, it was literally just like a circle with like arrows and like the memes of like those badly drawn guys pointing at it, be like, oh, with like Reed Richards in the front. Jake did not respond in chat.
A lot
I
of
think
people
he
were confused why they
responded.
were there. So I was trying to explain to dude, if this is a futuristic actual 60s, then it hasn't been, obviously what happened yet.
No,
If it just
okay,
looks like a futuristic 60s, that just means the Fan 4 are better than the comic book heroes.
oh, wow. There you go.
I bet you his doctor was crying about that shit. That's all I'm saying. That kind of
Gotcha.
filter.
Gotcha. But yeah, going to this topic about like the Avengers being delayed and all that stuff, I honestly think they just need time. They just really need time to work out the kinks in this, because this is a bit, back in my day with movies, there was a thing called deleted scenes, right? Nowadays, with the last couple, nowadays with the last couple of Marvel movies, there aren't deleted scenes. There are deleted storylines that have already been.
Scenes delete you.
Yeah. Like, the most recent example was a minor spoiler alert for what would have happened in Thunderbolts, right? With Taskmaster. Yeah, apparently there was whole scenes of her lasting a lot longer in that film with the ongoing gag of her trying to kill John Walker, right? Even before that, you have Captain America 4. I don't need to explain all the reshoots and stuff they completely cut off from that film. So I guess like Marvel just
they're actually trying to argue they didn't cut anything from that film. Like we don't fucking
baloney. Like you look at that trailer, like we have a full
we
funeral.
know you have Seth Rollins on set. We've seen the photos. He admitted it. We saw you film.
Even in the trailers, you see a funeral scene in the trailers, right? You don't, and a funeral never happens in the movie, So I don't know what they're talking about. But yeah,
being delusional.
Yep. But here's the thing: when you're talking about something like Avengers film, that's going to be a pricey little film.
Yeah.
Like,
I always had to leave. Don't forget, Avengers films film fake out scenes just for the trailer.
Yeah, fake outs.
Like that scene, that scene in the trailer for Infinity War where we saw everyone running towards the camera. That never happened.
Well, no, there were different variations of people running towards the camera because even in the movie, we did see.
No, in the Infinity War trailer, they have a scene of Hulk in his Hulk form and all the Avengers together, except for Iron Man, running together towards the camera. There's nowhere in that film.
Yeah, but then in the actual film itself, you see like it was T'Challa who was running towards the camera with everybody else following him in the back.
Yes, my point is the people who were on Titan were in that scene.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They admitted they filmed fake scenes for that movie. That in Endgame.
Yeah. Okay, so film fake scenes, but not fake stories. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm saying they already do that type of stuff. So going with Avengers, even with the storyline stuff, it's just going to be a lot of stuff getting leaked that we're going to see that we won't know if it's true or not, and it's going to be fucked up.
Gotcha. But I guess, I'm just saying they just want their money more wisely at this point, because you can't just keep filming so many scenes, whole story arcs for movies that are never going to see the light of day, And besides, with the Avengers, given the cast they have right now, I don't think the actors really know what's going on. It kind of seems more like they're filming scenes left and right, and they'll combine them all in the editing room later. I do recall one comment.
That they have the scripts, but he didn't read it.
Oh, okay. So I guess he's not going to have a big part in Doomsday. But I do recall the actor who's playing Nightcrawler, right?
Why you know his name?
Because I like his work. Okay, I remember watching him in Spy Kids, and I remember watching him in X2, and then a couple other things. And also he's a very prolific queer actor.
In Spy Kids.
He was the villain.
Oh, that guy. That was okay. Yeah.
With the weird thumb people, he was the leader of those guys.
And then he became a good guy. Yeah. He's definitely had work around in movies and TVs. But I'm going back to the point. He did state I remember him commenting he's filming a scene in Avengers, but he thinks he's fighting Reed Richards. Emphasis on thinks.
Well,
so I guess they're just filming movement scenes.
Tom Holland.
What?
Having actors not really know what scene they're in. Tom Holland. Remember, Holland went to the film thinking it was
for the wedding.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, Infinity War and Endgame, they were doing shit like that to a lot of actors. And I
couldn't trust Tom Holland.
Yeah, and I get it worked out in the end, in the movie. But how do you expect someone to act best in a scene if they don't know what they're really looking at?
I know. That's kind of.
For all we know, he might find a scroll. He might find Gia. For all we know.
Yep.
That's kind of
Yeah, that's kind of one of the obstacles you're going to have to get if you're working on a Marvel film. I think he was even pushing. He's playing that song in the background.
What's happening in the background?
Okay.
I think get rid of.
I do recall. Yeah, I do recall someone his high profile.
I wanted to check something before we did the review, and so I had to go look at it, but I couldn't. And I was hoping you guys could hear it, so that was my fault. My mistake.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, but as I was saying before, I do recall someone like high profile like Christian Bale, right? You know, the dude's a bit of a method actor, but
Yeah.
he kind of had to throw that all out the window when he was working for Marvel because, like, you know, hey, most of it's going to be behind a green screen, and when you're filming those scenes, it doesn't matter if it's night or day. The sets will be whatever time of day it needs to be, you know. So I'm like, oh, okay. So
Also, he
yeah,
couldn't even really get his character either, because like, oh, so I can read this to figure out what I'm doing. Like, no, oh,
yeah.
it's
He
kind
tried
of
working with the best with what he got, you know.
Yeah.
oh,
At least
oh,
with
the
Batman,
gore
he's
from the comic.
turning runs. They'd be like, oh, I have to act like this. That's fine. That's fine. I can get into this. He couldn't do that before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were some Batman comics he was able to go back and reference for when he was doing Batman.
Yeah.
But you know, hey, when he was doing Gore, you think they told him, yeah, go read this version of Gore from the
Yeah.
comics? Nope.
Read the garbage jar. Don't worry, we're not doing anything from this book.
Yeah, exactly. You know. So, yeah, it's just one of the caveats of working an Avengers film, and again, you kind of definitely need this film to be a hit. It can't be like a break-even sort of a movie. It's required to hit that $1 billion
I
mark.
think they're
You
really
know,
trying to.
so
I think they're trying to rework the Doom situation because now they're actually telling you that Tony Stark's death is going to be important to this fucking film. So that means either when Tony Stark snapped, I'm not going to say he is Doom. I think that'll be the worst thing they can do. That would kill this movie. But now you have to be like, oh, when they were doing all that snapping, the other people in the universe were looking at us, and Doom been watching us since then, or some dumb shit like that. Because like there's no reason Tony, who's been dead for over 10 years now, should he still be important to the universe.
God damn it! I just wanted a break from Tony Stark for once in my goddamn fucking life.
Yeah, we got a long break from him.
So, and then they had, remember they announced that, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. was help writing his own Doom story, like his own like story and backstory for Doom. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, stay away from Doctor Doom.
It's too late for that. My point is,
It's in the comics, dude. In the comics, stay away from
pick up
Doctor
a few
Doom.
comics. They're like, well, I want Doom to be like this. We don't have to settle for most of this shit.
No, stay away from Doom in the comics, man. If they fuck him up, I'm gonna be pissed. And I'm not even the biggest Doctor Doom fan, but like, don't fuck
I
him
am
up.
also mad they fucked him up in 2 other films by now.
Don't fuck him up. But the MCU synergy wasn't even that bad because it didn't fucking exist. We didn't have to worry.
I doubt if they change one thing, it's not gonna be Doctor Doom. I can see them changing Reed Richards and comics before they change Doctor Doom around.
Like giving him magic.
Well, yeah, they're not doing that, but I can see them being like, oh, now Reed has a mustache the whole time.
You know what we need those prequel like MCU comics back. I think that'll be funny.
We do. We got one for Phanatics 4.
Oh yeah, they're doing it for Phanatics 4. But like for like the big movies, like the really big movies, like this. Like
thanks to these movies retconning them all the time now, I doubt they want to put the effort in. I'm still mad that Captain America 4 didn't talk about how Black Widow actually brought in the guy, the leader.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I think them trying to figure out how Doom is going to work is the biggest problem with this film, because we already know it's a sudden jump to him. You want y'all paid this actor so much to be Doom, but then y'all also give him creative freedom to be his own version of Doom, instead of just writing out to be, which I think is the biggest problem.
Yeah,
and most of the dynamics that this Doom needs to succeed, he does not have. We do not have the rivalry between him and Reed, and we're not going to get that in the Phantom 4 movie. At least we shouldn't.
Right.
So that means most of the stakes and everything have to build from the ground up. Only 4 people know about the incursions. Thunderbolts just happened, and all they're saying is some weird shit happened in space.
Yep.
Say you know about Thanos. We knew about Thanos for 10 years before we got to him. So everything was always building that. Our main guy who knows about the incursions is not on Earth, and he's not called for the movie. It's not strange.
The more I think about this, the more I'm feeling sorry for anybody who had to work on Avengers 4, because again, remember, not to the fault of the Russo brothers, but they kind of have to pick up the slack that was left behind from Kang's situation. Because all the build up.
I feel like you could have still did it with the Kane situation. If you let the Kane situation be the opening scene to this movie, I feel like you can still savage this stuff. Because the way they did the He Who Remains, you can wrap a little ball in that because of Loki.
Yeah.
If you can have there's a scene in Predator 4 where Reed and Doom infiltrate the Council of Kings, and they all killed each other because of a plan by Mortis. I feel like you can still do that.
You can even if it was like a one-off line, I feel like you could probably do something with it.
Yeah, I feel like as long as you make it the opening scene for Doom, I feel like it'll be fine. I think the problem is you have to up what Kang was doing. Say, like, I know people are like, oh, Kang's not impressive, but when Kang was actually doing stuff, he was very impressive. This man was like, if you go by his words and what he said he did, Kang is very impressively read. This man could stop. One of his versions of him could stop time. Fast forward. This man said he killed Avengers. He said he killed Thor. He had telekinesis, all the other crazy shit. So that means Dr. Doom that we're getting has to have his magic and tech suit.
And science. You can't just have one with Doom.
So the problem is now is that unlike the comics where it's like, oh, well, his science will be under Reed and might be under Strange, we don't have those dynamics to build that relationship. There's so much shit missing for this film to work beforehand that they have to jam into this 2-hour movie. And then this isn't even the finale of the film.
Not
1 second. With its own can of worms.
Yeah, not 1 second. Not 1 second can be wasted.
I'm surprised you're not making this a 3-hour film like they did Endgame.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be 2:30, and I think Secret War is going to be throughout.
There's so much here that needs to be explained before we can even get these movies. And we're not getting it.
Secret War itself is going to be crazy if they even decide to just try to do one part of Battle World, let alone the whole fucking thing.
Dude, Battle World needs to be like a whole phase in and of itself, man. You can't just rush that shit.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is kind
so
of
complicated.
why they want to take their time and work out.
And that's not even
kinks
bringing the Beyonder into this.
If it's possible.
Well, to be fair, they're doing 2015. They're Beyonder. They need Molecule
Man. Beyonder?
We don't know. But I'm saying if they do
not doing Beyonder.
They can use the Molecule Man.
I swear, if we get to Beyonder, just like a random post-credit scene, and we get nothing from it, I'm gonna be so pissed.
I can see them doing the Molecule Man because it's an easier plan to set up. Oh, the incursions are happening. Why are they happening? Well, Doom is exploding the Molecule Man on every Earth that he goes to, and that's causing them to go out of whack and crash into each other. And that was happening in the comics because he's trying to find the one who powers it to do the bullshit. I feel like you can still do that. If you do the Beyonder right now with no build up, people are gonna be pissed.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make sense, man.
If you do that Beyonder, that just means you want to kill Sentry.
Also, we're getting Tom Hiddleston in this movie again, right? Just to double check.
He's definitely gonna die.
Okay. But he's going to be. We know
if they don't do Molecule Man, how Doom get his the full power, he's definitely taking Loki's power to save the world.
Allegedly.
Well, not to save the world, but to live.
Whatever Doom does.
Well, yeah. Cryptid's gone, so I have to take the role of saying, is there anything else we want to say on the topic?
I don't know if this movie's gonna be good.
I wish they didn't name it Doomsday.
Could have named it anything else.
I just know
you could have put like Rise of Doom.
Or
if you want to use Doomsday so badly, you could have done Road to Doomsday.
I think both of those names are clunky to me. I'm fine with
Doomsday. This is the only time they actually could have said Age of Doom and it would have worked.
Maybe I think Doomsday's just.
Remember, he's gonna do Secret War, so he's gonna take him holding to the planes. Like you could have said Age of Doom.
I guess. I like Doom.
One World Under Doom is too soon, man, because it's still going on, so it's not right.
I guess the only other thing could deal with Emperor Doom, but that's more title than a movie title. Well, man title, but.
We're just gonna have to wait.
But that said, for the sake of time, let's move on to the next one. Again, I'm just taking all of Cryptid's lines tonight.
What I do, bro?
Street Fighter casting announcements.
Oh yeah, I think I did this right.
He looks like.
So
No, I'm not gonna say Drake, but he kind of looks like
what?
Drake.
Drake?
I don't know. He looks like someone, but I don't know. Remember
That
what his
Jason
name kind of does look like Drake.
Samoa.
No. Well, now that I'm looking at it, yeah.
Okay, so you guys moving
Like
on
from where
without me.
I'm sitting,
Okay.
from where
Well,
I'm sitting, he kind of looks like Drake.
Well, we were running on time. You were gone, and I said, "Well, I gotta take all of Cryptid's lines." So, is there any last thing you wanted to talk about? They talked about it. We moved on.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, Street Fighter topic.
Yeah. So I can't get to the names right now, but we know Roman Reigns. They want Roman Reigns as Akuma.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see here, I guess this is. Why are they doing like this? That's terrible.
They want to. They're looking to. Yeah, they're looking to get Jason Momoa to, I guess, play Blanca.
It does a show I watch called The Warrior. I can't remember the main guy's name, but they want him to play Ryu, and they want this guy from this really bad movie I've seen before.
Here, I got a picture of him.
And bro,
yeah, they want this guy to play Ryu. Audience.
This dude is great. He can fight. He can train. He's not.
Who the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy who plays the main character of The Warrior. The Warrior is a show based on the writings of Bruce Lee when he wanted to make a show in the 70s. They do the actual trained fighter in Bruce Lee's martial arts.
He will kill you. Okay.
Unlike the guy who plays Kendo does not know how to fight, if I remember correctly.
Hey, that's kind of strange because I thought Ken and Ryu were supposed to be kind of equals.
Exactly. So it feels weird to be like, yeah, that's also my problem. So if you know anything about Street Fighter, everybody has unique style. Some of them are made up or mixed, but still. So you got to do Ryu. Sure. So he's gonna track this and that style to get those moves right. There's a guy named Sagat. He does Muay Thai. He's gonna have to be in this film. Why are you hiring a wrestler for Akuma?
You just need the body, really. That's what they're looking for.
But like, you could get someone more close to this guy, because Akuma is the dark shadow of this dude. You know what I mean? He's the guy who killed this guy's master. He's his master's brother. Roman Reigns going for this dude, and they'd be like, Roman Reigns right there. It's gonna be very strange, bro.
Yeah, they're just gonna go for like, you know, just the body being the more monstrous form of it, really, you know, as opposed to skillful fighting, you know.
Yeah, but that's my problem though. Roman Reigns is gonna have to fight and practice against an actual martial artist who's gonna do these moves naturally. You know what I mean?
Hey, remember this, Austin. People wanted The Miz to be playing Johnny Cage, and The Miz was actually trained to play the Miz did train to fight. Yeah, he was going as far trained to fight because he really was trying to get that role. Yeah, he was trying to get the splits down, audience. He was putting the effort.
But Roman Reigns, with his leukemia and everything else he's going through, I don't think he's gonna have like the time to fully dedicate himself to that type of training. He couldn't even dedicate himself to be on Raw all the time. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Did he disconnect again?
I guess so. But
informations.
What? Griffin? You ain't get popped back in the scares like that.
For real, that's my job.
I'm sorry, guys. Again, I'm in an entirely different spot than I normally am, audience, so cut me some slack.
But
right.
Yeah, so with the Roman's health condition and all the other stuff, it feels weird to try to cast him in like the most physically demanding fighting role of the movie.
Yeah.
Strongest fighter in the universe at this point.
Yeah.
We haven't casted Bison yet.
Ooh. Damn. Who could play Bison? Which Russian actor do you guys want?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's to be done.
What was that?
I had to mute myself not to cough into the mic.
Okay.
Bison. That means the story is going to be Ryu tries to fight Bison, he loses, and Bison loses to Akuma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's like the first game. So now it's like, bro. But like Bison has to be impressive, and then Bison's gonna be a hype machine guy.
Mm-hmm.
So picking the actor, bro, I don't know. Bring back Claude Van Damme. Let's go.
We'll see.
I want someone to do. I want to see. I want an
Why
actor.
do we have to have such high standards for a movie?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Why do we have to have such high standards for a movie based on a video game audience? You know, why do we?
I just want them to do the full Bison front flip thing, where he front flips and then stomps your head.
Yeah.
As long as that's in the film, I'll let watch this slide. Because I want to see how it looks. Because not in any of the other films. We almost got it in the last one, I think. But they changed it to the Psycho Crusher. So I need to see it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah, funny enough, they didn't announce Chung-Li. I feel like it'd be like, usually they're like the first casting they do.
Yeah, Chun-Li.
Remember, she was so popular, she got her own Street Fighter movie. Not connected to anybody.
I recall that. Yeah, I recall that.
So it's like, other than her, Sagat, Bison. I guess you don't need Sakura. You need to do Hondo.
You think Sakura will be an easy? You think Sakura will be an easy casting to make? You know?
No, she would be, but I don't think they'll introduce her in the first movie. I think this movie's going to build the legend of Ryu, and then she becomes a student in the next film.
Got it.
We need the Yoga Man. We need I can't remember his name. Hondo? I think I said it already. Honda?
Hondo.
Honda.
Yeah, was he the guy with the claws?
Honda's the one who does the sumo wrestler. The guy with the claws.
Okay.
Vega, Balrog. They're just gonna be goons, so they'll be easy to cast. The only problem I guess you really have is how modernized you want to do with this. That's funny, but there's a whole lot of like modern Street Fighter characters are popular now. I can see them trying to throw back in the past in a movie.
Right. So
no, I know what he looks like here. He looks like that mouth tape guy.
Oh wow!
From TikTok, that really rich mouth tape alpha male guy.
No, I never seen that.
He looks like he would have a podcast.
Yeah, so I think we're obviously going to lose some of these people. The question is, are they going to pull a Mortal Kombat? I guess the best question. Are they going to be like, fuck you, you're not getting your tournament? Was the whole point of the fucking game? Or not?
I hated them. Studios are so comfortable these days to make a movie and say, we'll save all the good stuff for the sequel and possibly the third film, but you don't even know if your film is going to be good enough to have a sequel. You know, so
people don't know. I guess I will say this for reference. Street Fighter, like Mortal Kombat, is just a worldwide tournament. For Mortal Kombat, it's a secret one to be fair, but for Street Fighter, each country has a representative, and they show up. Some of them have two because fuck you, I guess. America usually has two because Guile isn't there representing America. Ken usually is, but Guile is a U.S. He's a U.S. Army man, so he usually always around.
Yeah.
So if you cut that out and just have people well, Bison just being a bitch, and we have to go stop Bison. That kind of takes away a lot of appeal of Street Fighter.
Gotcha. Well, how about this for a fan cast audience? Let's see. Chris Pratt to play Dan.
No.
No. The face of a lovable loser.
That's the bad part, too. I was thinking about Dan.
You need the face of a lovable loser to play Dan. Right?
The problem is, I don't want to see Dan in this fucking movie, bro.
He could just be an end credit scene,
I think anything for the sequel. You have a lot of like scenes and shit with Sakura too. I guess you have to. Inventory is bad, but I don't want to be like that movie.
Who would you want to cast that has a lovable loser face?
Literally anyone but Chris Pratt. I don't like Chris Pratt. He fucking sucks.
Don't worry, we're gonna get Tom Holland doing it.
Hate Chris.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this is still very much early in its production, audience. Nothing's solidified yet. No official.
It feels weird. We got this news before the Legend of Zelda movie, the One Punch Man movie, the Naruto film, and like 5 other like big films by the same company, I believe.
Dude, I didn't even know we were getting a One Punch Man film, man.
One Punch Man got announced like a long time ago. They haven't done anything with it.
No, that sounds like something that was rumored online, but you never thought it was actually something that they
we know that they bought the rights to make that movie. They just didn't do it.
Yeah, So, well, we'll see what happens, audience. Subscribe to us to keep up to date on the information on Street Fighter as this comes out, audience. So
I'll be watching it closely.
Gotcha. So, all right, you guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. I guess I'll announce this one. Spider-Man Brand New Day rumored to introduce Scorpion, Boomerang, Tombstone, and maybe Mary Jane?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Scorpion is the safest bet out of all. He's really the only mainline Spider-Man that hasn't been used in movies yet.
I'll argue him and Tombstone are probably guaranteed. If Scorpion's going out of jail, he obviously going to want his turf back. And don't forget, we had the Spider-Man cartoon, which had Tombstone go to war with Scorpion.
No, there you go.
Adding in Boomerang, that means there's a little dumb asshole in the middle of the situation who Spider-Man's probably going to try to help and save. Fucked up by
Disney cast Zac Efron as Boomerang. Come on, please.
The worst part of Boomerang is like one of my favorite Spider-Man characters because the superior foes of Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I don't bro. Come on, if Marvel can do one thing right, it's a lovable loser. Come on.
I really hope we could have seen him and Shocker at the barber. If they do that, I'll take all the films in.
You just need the scene of him and Spider-Man at a bar drinking. Spider-Man's kind of supposed to be seen as the loser of the superhero community, and Boomerang is kind of supposed to be seen as the loser of the supervillain community. So y'all
know Shocker went through hell to bring Boomerang back during King of Black, bro. Like when that whole symbiote thing was going on, he accidentally got one. He put one on Boomerang and cured it just to bring the nigga back to life. Because he missed his boy.
See, friends support friends.
People don't remember Boomerang sacrificing to save Spider-Man during like the Center 60 event or some shit. But so I think all that's a good bet. It goes against the reports that we had, about them wanting to do Mr. Negative.
Oh, damn, we could have had Mr. Negative.
To be fair, we probably still can get him if they just do the crime war situation. All the new crime bosses trying to take over after what Fist did and fucked up in Daredevil season 2, I guess. But who knows? The Mary Jane Watson thing is interesting. So Sadie Sink, who's on this thumbnail or in this picture, she was rumored to play either the daughters of not Tom Holland, what's his name? Tobey Maguire, Mayday Parker, played Mary Jane Watson, or she's going to play there's another redhead who I don't care about. So whatever. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If she plays Mary Jane Watson, do you think they're just gonna make her the cousin, Michelle Jones?
Yeah, because Michelle's already she is a
it's not gonna happen, audience. Come on, you think I have all the development one with MJ in the MCU and given that is Tom Holland's fiance at the end of the day, they're not going to replace her and say that there's an
that's his
actual
fiance
Mary
who
Jane
wants to
out
walk
there,
away
you know?
from movies and have a kid, unless you forgot.
Oh, okay.
I even forgot.
Yeah, they've been talking about. She been talking about like walking away. Her and Tom might have a kid or something. Like, so her stuff is up in the air with how that goes down. I think it'll be too weird. Oh, I can't date her. I date her cousin.
Well, if it was okay for Captain America to date his lover's niece,
it wasn't okay. No one
it was not okay morally in many ways.
People still don't like it.
I know.
But I personally want her to be. We already knew that Sony was trying to force them to do a multiverse story, so I wouldn't mind her being Mayday Parker, or either be Peter showing that young Spider person how to do stuff.
Yeah,
because we know eventually it wants to like show Peter and Miles. So him, I bet because the other reports we have for this movie is that Peter is going to be a teacher, and we also got the report that Professor Hulk is also going to be a teacher at the school.
man, we talked about that, privately, audience. But I'm like, if Hulk is going to be in this film, that's going to be pretty interesting to see him in, as to whether or not they're going to carry on the storyline of his son, given the last time we saw him. Yeah,
how much
God,
I was going to bet they're just going to be like, he's with She-Hulk while I do this.
She-Hulk season 2.
Might like one gag time being in school just being dumb because he didn't go to school. He was on the car for thing.
I just want She-Hulk season 2 to happen off screen, like it never gets
out
filmed.
there. So
but I wouldn't mind Professor Hulk and Peter being in the same school. As long as Hulk isn't like a big part of a film, he might be. But I think we all agree that Peter needs to film to stand on his own.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can have a film on his own. I feel like they do whatever they can to put a Marvel character in there for a reason. I think
it's more Sony trying to make them do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think. I think they would rather do one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think a lot of people thought for some reason that Peter was going to like have teachers or something, and it's like, did y'all forget he got his GED in the last movie?
Oh, there's that too. Well,
yeah.
I think the spell that Doctor Strange casted at the last Spider-Man film, they could flexibly make that and to say whatever they want is canon, you know? Peter got his GED, he got his GED. If he doesn't, it was all explained by magic.
Did he have his name?
No. Like, the magic happened is when he got his GED. That's the point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And in the movie, before he jumps out the window, you see the Spider-Man like silk and stuff on the GED book.
Okay.
Oh,
So that's how Peter has to do it. Because remember, Peter doesn't exist. So he had to make up a whole fake name and just get it online. They get a diploma.
I swear, if they give him like any of his clone names,
he's been something. You know it's Ben, bro.
It's either going to be Ben Reilly or something else. And
they're not going to do Kane. They love running Ben Reilly into the dirt, bro. It's going to be Ben.
If Peter Parker doesn't exist, can he just get his name back? Like, what's wrong with just like in the name? Like, it doesn't exist.
Ben Reilly is the only
I guess it'd be easier to make it back up. I guess it depends on his skill set. I guess I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If he just says,
Ben Reilly just needs his name to go back to because that's literally his Aunt May's maiden name. You know, Riley.
But he could be another guy.
What if him doing that undoes the spell?
That's what I would like that as an excuse. But like, it's just weird to me that like, it's like you just lost your identity. Okay, well, just like I'm Peter Parker, but I'm just not that Peter Parker.
He wanted people to not know that Peter Parker existed. So making Peter Parker exist actually goes against that spell. So they should break.
Okay.
Yep.
So I can see him going by Ben.
If the spell breaks, would everyone just remember that he's Peter Parker again?
Oh.
Yes, but then everyone from other universes start back colliding again.
Isn't it like isn't it in the comics he did this thing with Black Cat where he took off his mask and she was like, oh shit. I remember you.
Yeah, because that was them retcon that dumb villain face she had.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, I was being evil because I didn't remember who you were. So from my point of view, I just dated a nigga in a mask for like 3 years or something. I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, and there was a
You
point
didn't care about the Parker at that point anyway.
And there was a point in that relationship where Otto, under Peter's body, punched Black Cat in the face and broke her tooth. So there was also that.
That was her villain turn, but it was dumb.
Yeah.
The best thing about her villain turn was her and Silk's relationship.
Yeah. No. So, all right. Again, looking at this.
So what do you think? What do you think gonna be? Mary Jane or Mayday Parker?
It's Mayday Parker. Like, I just think
you
that's
realize it's Mayday Parker. You'll never be able to shut your friend up, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, Tavia.
I don't remember the lore on this, so take it easy on me. Could they? Yeah, she read. Couldn't they say it's like Teresa Parker, long lost sister?
They could, but because they just retcon Peter's death again in the comics, I doubt they're gonna do that.
Okay.
Jake, nobody likes Teresa.
People don't know. Last week when Spider-Man and Wolverine came out, they revealed that Wolverine killed his parents.
Wow, audience.
Yeah. So realistically, Teresa should not exist, or she's not related anymore. Because the way they died is Wolverine was on the plane. He came out and killed him, and then when the plane crashed, he walked away.
Damn it, Rogers! Did you know?
They might do some bullshit like that. Kill him. They're thoughtful on the whole time, but I don't know. It looked like he killed.
Gotcha. So, yeah,
his sister would be crazy. Can you imagine it erased you and then made another girl? Just made us.
Well, there had to be somebody there. Like we gotta have to make something up, right?
Who actually like that angle of Peter having a long lost sister? She kind of seems like to be a dark spot in Spider-Man mythos, you know?
I liked her because the story itself was good, but then he just made her a fake Falcon.
Wow.
Like, I didn't want her to get Spider-Man. They did the same thing with Miles' sister, but they just gave her Spider-Man. Like, that's too easy. But I wanted to get Falcon.
Well,
counterpart to that hero, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah. There you have it. We'll see what happens with this redhead. Tavia, I know you're gonna be excited if the big Mayday reveal happens, so pulling for you, man.
They're gonna do all that just to not bring back comics, bro. I can't wait for you.
Sure.
Gotcha. But all right then. You guys ready to move on to the big topic?
Let's do it.
Sure.
And
It's
a
not
big
that
topic.
big, but it's not a good one.
Yeah, no words.
Yeah. So I watched Lilo and Stitch actually today. And so like with these DC remakes, I do kind of like going through them through the perspective that I have, because like when I was a kid, they, other than like Tarzan, I don't think any of them really left a mark on me. I did watch some of them. I do remember watching Mulan. I just don't remember how I felt about it and like stuff like that. So but Lilo and Stitch is different. I actually watched this. I actually was familiar with this lore because I watched the TV show first.
Wait. Mulan didn't leave a dent on you? The movie where Disney used slave camps?
Yeah, I guess so. It was a little bit of pressure. I don't know what to tell you. But I watched the TV show first. And as a kid, I enjoyed it. I don't remember much about it. I just remember all the cool the different experiments that Lilo and Stitch had to, Pokemon.
You watched the movie first or just straight TV show?
I watched a TV show first, and then I watched Stitch Had a Glitch. And I remember because I used to play that shit on Disney Plus, the trailer. And as a kid, Stitch glitching out actually scared me, like the green eyes. Something about really scared me. I used to be like scared a lot.
Wait, Jake, are you talking about the Disney ride?
No. There's a movie called Stitch Has a Glitch.
Stitch Has a Glitch is the second movie. There's a Stitch movie, the show, another movie, and then like a final movie.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the anime.
Yeah, there was a movie after Lilo and Stitch that was supposed to be the transition to the TV show, I recall.
Yeah, and so I did watch Stitch Had a Glitch, and I remember like as a kid it scared me, but I remember liking it, and but I could never watch it again. And then they did put the movie on Disney, but I said like is this a prequel? Because I didn't know there was like a movie before the show. I was like, is this a prequel? I don't want to watch a fucking prequel. I'm not watching this shit. I think I watched like the opening. I was like, whatever. I'll skip the shit. So I never really watched the original movie.
Wow, even back when you were still a capsule, you still hated prequels, Jake.
I already know how they get together. I already know how to meet family. Fuck this shit.
When Jake was Jake Capsule, he hated prequels. Audience, look at that. You learned something
Jake
new.
Capsule.
Jake Capsule. Yeah. So I never got told.
Do I have to draw us as babies where Jake is just like?
It was a capsule. I'm just like a.
It's just the capsule, not even the powder.
So I'm watching. So when Lilo and Stitch was coming, and I don't really know how I felt. I remember like seeing the trailer. I was like, oh, I guess they're doing this now. I didn't really have strong feelings about it. I thought Stitch looked cool. It looked like it was gonna be one of the better Disney movies. I think. One of the better Disney live action ones so far.
Technically, that is more valid. I've been seeing like some reviews online that kind of say, well, it is one of the better of the recent Disney films. You know?
Yeah, and so I didn't think about it until like I saw the Double Toasted review before, where I was like, oh, like they were like so like when I watched the Double Toasted review, they showed me 3 scenes from the original film, like clips. And I remember I looked at these clips out of context. I didn't have any context leading to the clips, but by themselves, like the ugly duckling scene from like Lilo and Stitch, I was like, oh my god, this is like really fucking good. Holy shit. And they were like, that's not in the movie. I was like, it's not? Like that's like the scene where Stitch goes out of the forest and he's like and he tries to recreate the ugly duckling scene, but the happy ending doesn't happen for him. I was like, oh, that sucks. And then they said, and then also online they're like, Gantu's not in the movie. And I don't remember. I didn't think Gantu was in their prequel. I thought Gantu showed up in the show, so I didn't think it was like a movie creation. So I was like, oh. So I didn't know. And then people,
audience, if this movie does get a sequel, it's a guarantee you have to bring in Gantu because it will have to bring in Experiment 625, and that's a bit of a package deal with 625 and Gantu, you know?
Yeah,
No, they're not going to do that.
You already broke the base of like his rivalry with Stitch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said that. Well, they said 2 things. Then the internet, I think, lied and told the truth. They said like Bubbles was a villain, which after watching the movie is not really true. He's not. He's just like a light antagonist at best. But then they said Jumbo was a villain. And I remember being like, but I like Jumbo. Like I remember Jumbo as a kid.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one thing I heard people hated about this film was Jumbo's depiction, right down to the voice actor they got for him.
Yeah, and his voice actor was not doing it. I mean, I like it was a good voice, but it wasn't Jumbo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the voice actor audience was the fat guy from Hangover, the one with the beard.
They took away Pleakley's like contest Bob, dude. I'm still not over that.
No.
People that was not in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Jumbo was
right there. But and it would have been nice to have it. I would have loved it. That was one of my favorite gags.
Yeah.
But not in the movie.
Yeah.
But I did like that voice actor, but he just wasn't Jumbo. Like he does a great job with the lines he's getting. And so going into this movie, I was like all this stuff, like I don't have a strong emotional attachment that everybody else has in the first movie. I do have more of an investment in this one than I have before in this Disney live action thing. So watching the movie, I remember like going through it and I guess with all these other Disney live action movies, I remember walking away saying like, oh, these are okay. Like, I mean, like they do some improvements on the stories, but they don't really do improvements in terms of like the visuals, which I think is the main problem with them. And this movie also has that same problem too. But that said, I had fun watching it. I'm sorry. I the movie. I'm sorry.
It's better. It's better by comparison.
All of the nuance that made the original beautiful.
That's the thing. I can't. But I will say.
Why didn't you watch the original before you came on the damn podcast?
Jake, I'm saying I'm not judging you. Yeah. I expect anyone who's never seen the original to like this movie as it is. So based on what I saw, it is a fun film.
Yeah.
But if you watch the original and you see what they changed it kind of felt like a fuck you based on the original premise of the film.
Yeah.
It basically shat on what made the original amazing and beautiful.
Yeah.
And also, a spoiler alert, What the fuck you mean Nani gives up Lilo? What are you talking about?
No, she doesn't. She didn't give up Lilo by choice. It was more like it was just forced on her, and then Lilo told her to leave. But we'll get into that in a bit because that's going to be one save at the end.
Fucking bullshit. That's still fucking bullshit.
But like, my thoughts on the movie basically is like, I remember there's just things I forgot. I don't know if it's in the original. If this is what the crunch down version of this movie is, I already know that the original is a masterpiece. Because the one I got was really fun. Like even the opening bit where like where Stitch escapes the Earth, and the lady's like, we gotta blow up the Earth. And the guy's like, oh no, we can't do that. It's an endangered species. We're populating on that planet. He's like, fuck. And then like it's like, well, it's okay because Earth is 75% water. So and he's gonna land on water, and then he lands in the one spot. God damn it. So I was like, okay. I like how that scene gets bigger later when Stitch tries to escape Hawaii, and then he gets to the cliff, and he's like, because they're like, well, he's trying to get to the big city. And then he realizes he's on a fucking island. He's like, God damn it. And Lito's like, yeah, isn't it great how we're on Hawaii and there's nothing for miles and miles and miles? So I was like, all that shit was kind of fun for me. And I think another thing I do like about this, I haven't seen the original, but I know like
Austin, movie night. We need to do this for movie night.
And by the way, at first that wasn't by choice. At first that wasn't by choice, just because I didn't have an interest. But now it would. But as closer I got to the movie, I thought that would be the best thing for me to do because I did see a family come out of my theater and legit say they did enjoy it. So I didn't want the experience of like, okay, well, what if I was them? Like when I watch this movie, would I still enjoy it? So I didn't want the experience.
This is kind of like the generational gap we're experiencing, audience, because like we're on the border of being like, the old generation that are like, back in my day, these Disney movies were when they were animated, they were all that. These live action ones cannot compare, like.
Yeah. I think the movie does have heart where it counts. I think the thing it's missing the most is just shot composition. I really need these Disney live action movies to get interesting visual directors. I think like the effort that gets put into making the 2D films or the films that they're spinning off of needs to have that same effort put into being a film, like being a live action film. I think that's missing that. I remember even this, like Crypto was asking me earlier, like to look for a shot for a thumbnail for this topic. I was like, I don't know, like none of it really looks like visually interesting. But I will say the things that do kind of sell this movie for me was Lilo, Stich, and Nani. I found Nani's situation, especially like as I got older, like very fucking relatable.
Audience, later on in life, when I look back at the original Lilo and Stitch, I gotta give mad respects to Nani, given like everything.
She literally gave up her entire life to raise her younger sister with little to no support. And it was like very like, and then she was like, she didn't want to give up Lilo in the movie, in the original movie. She wanted to do everything she could.
That was literally her last.
Like Lilo was almost taken away. She was doing whatever she could.
Yeah, that was literally her last living relative. It was going to be Nani and Lilo pretty much against the world. Like, and I don't like the idea of like it being described as Nani had to give up her life. No, she wanted to do everything she could, to be there for Lilo,
Which so happened that she had to give up basically everything that she loved. In her room, she had a whole bunch of like surfing trophies and other stuff like that.
Yeah, but
wasn't that her mom's?
I think that's
wasn't that her mom's?
No, they were hers.
Yeah. Well, even in this movie, they were hers too. But I guess I'll just get into it because it's going to keep coming up throughout the movie. I actually don't mind like Nani's decision at the end, mainly because of how it was delivered. First off, people gotta understand. People gotta understand.
They put one foot on the doorstep by giving them a portal gun. So yeah, she's leaving Lilo, but then they gave her a way to say, "Oh, she could still visit Lilo anytime we want."
That just feels so wrong on so many levels.
It's not, because even if that wasn't the case, like the college she went through, that's what I was looking up throughout the movie. It's like the University of like San Diego, and
that's literally this whole movie was supposed to be about Hawaii
and
yet they're like no.
point of the movie is like Nani has her.
It's
like,
not about what the point of the new movie.
Wait,
is.
hold on. Let me
the original
finish.
and how they're basically shatting all over it and
Let me
ruining
finish.
and taking out all the nuances which made the original great.
Let me finish. The Nani as a character is basically a child who is forced, or a young adult at this point, who's forced to raise a child because of a tragic circumstance. But because of that, she's not allowed to have the life that she was supposed to have. But she has people that's willing to take care of Lilo and also let her have that adventure. And she can come back and visit her anytime. She didn't leave Lilo forever.
It's literally playing into like ways that like colonialists would like take apart indigenous families at the same time. And the original movie didn't want to do that, so they did everything in their power to make sure that they stayed together.
But
regardless of what happened to
they're
them.
just temporarily apart. It's only
temporarily, but still.
It's only gonna be for 4 years at best, and then she's gonna be right back.
4 years, man.
4 years, and then she'll be back.
You need to go watch the original goddamn movie, so you can
she
see all this
still
nuance.
gets to visit at the end of the day. She still can visit whenever she wants. She didn't leave. She didn't actually leave.
Technically, she kind of did though. Literally, like
it's like
her family. She basically said she left and didn't even consider taking Lilo with her.
Lilo, by the way, taking her from home.
Look,
she left home too.
Because she's
let me add like
regardless, you don't know what's
let me add some let me add some 2 cents onto this, right? In terms of her going into college and doing her studies at that point, that's okay, but like in the back of my mind, you know, I went to college, right? Mm-hmm. I've seen people in their 90s still go to college, so I'm trying to wrap my head around this mind of like, you want to leave Lilo when she's still in a toddler state, you know?
It's like first off, it's like being mad at like a kid going to college when they could just drive back home. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a drivable distance. It's even just like a 7-hour flight, and they have the portal technology so she can leave. She's not leaving. She's going to school and then coming right back. That's what I'm saying. And it's
still, like it's literally playing into these tropes that actually hurt people. Plus, this live action movie was only made to promote Disney's fucking Hawaii resort, which, and keep in mind, indigenous Hawaiians have been telling people to not come to Hawaii for many years, but no one ever wants to fucking listen. Trust me, I even tried to convince my own parents to not go to Hawaii, and they didn't want to fucking listen to me.
It's like like I like this idea that basically it's like I need to be able to take care of myself. I'm going to be able to emotionally take care of you, and I need to leave to figure this out. And she doesn't even make that choice. Lilo's like, yeah, go, because I have a family.
She's still a child, though, man.
I have a friend. I have my friend.
Yeah, but that's her. Nani is her
family to take care of me. You can visit me when you need to. It's okay. I'm going to be okay. That's basically what she was saying. And Leah and Nani's just basically like, yeah, okay. I think that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like
I think this is
so. What if she? Hear me out. What if she did this without having the access to her like that fucking?
Then she would be 7-hour flight away, and she could visit.
7-hour flight's still a long ass time, man.
She could still come back on the holidays and spend the whole holidays with her.
Yeah, you know how expensive plane tickets are?
That's what normal people do. That's what everybody does when they go to.
Not everyone. I don't barely go see my family. I barely go see my own family, and they're only like a freaking 30-minute bus ride.
Do not leave for most of the year and only come back for holidays.
And also, given the financial situation, I doubt like Nani will be able. They could afford that.
In the financial situation because she has to pay bills for a house she no longer has. All she has left is college to deal with. That's the only bill she has right now. She has college. She has the meal plan over there. She'll have enough time to make money on the side.
But you still have to pay tuition.
And if you don't remember, the reason she couldn't keep the money was because Lilo kept fucking up her job. She kept trying to get multiple jobs in this film, and then she couldn't keep them because Lilo
was her in the original.
Now she's
basically what Nani needed was support. She barely got the support of like friends and like aliens at the end of the fucking movie, even though David tried his best to like help her out.
Right.
You know, we need to show you this original movie. We need to show you the original movie. Audience, mark my words.
Stop. It doesn't matter about what the original movie says. In this movie, it's fine. I understand the original movie, it's different. But in this movie, the context they gave him, it's fine. She hasn't left Lilo. She's coming right back. That's what I'm telling you. It doesn't matter if I watch the original movie. I might watch the original movie and think it's better than the original.
You should watch the original movie so you
It
can make a
won't
fair
matter
comparison.
because I'll still agree with the decision here.
You should watch it so you have the idea. You can compare the two reasonably.
It's just one of those things that we're never going to be able to separate from the original and the remake.
And he doesn't compare the two.
Mm-hmm. Again,
what were you saying, Austin? I'm sorry, you cut out for a second.
I'm saying, like he said, for his review, he doesn't have to compare the two. He doesn't need to compare the two. When he watches the original movie, he can give his own thoughts next time. Okay? But right now, let him finish his review for this thing. But I will say this, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
The original movie, everything was about how the colonialism of Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
So that movie, the reason she couldn't get a job, but the only job they had was that she could either be a tourist, a fake ass tourist, or surfer. Surfer instructor.
Yeah.
And that was every Hawaiian person was doing.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, the whole point of the film was how that was hurting Hawaii as a whole, and she was trying to. And I guess in the based on what you said, the two differences as well is that Nani made the choice that she wanted Lilo with her at all times, regardless of what's going on. This was like keeping her family together was her dream.
Yeah.
Compared to going to college, like you said.
Yeah, and if that's the case in the original movie, I would disagree. If those political beats were made in this movie, I would agree it would feel off if at the end she said, "I'm going to go to college," because like you said, like if the whole point is how if that was in this movie, then I would agree, but it's not. So like based off the information I'm giving in this movie, Nani's decision is fine. But if in the original movie, if this was the same beats, and she still went to college, then it would be kind of like a fuck you. But
I have a question. Why couldn't she have gone to a college in Hawaii so she could be even closer to her sister?
Because the best college she needed for her career was not in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It still doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense why she wouldn't just want to stay. Like literally, it does not make sense to me. None of this movie makes sense to me.
It would be like having the ability.
All the plot points, none of it makes sense to me. This movie is garbage, and you can never make me go see this movie.
There's no perfect live action remake audience. Let's just put it this way,
I just think they should never have made any live action remakes of any of these movies. Yeah. You know what they should have done? They should have just re-released the original in theaters. People love it.
That's the other thing I wanted to bring up too. What I find crazy about it too, and this is gonna be a side tangent. Then we can get back to the review. I think people act too much like Disney has a malicious hatred for these original films. But if you go on Disney Plus right now, the first thing on the screen page is like they're saying, "Hey, go watch the original," or you go watch Lilo and Stitch. Go watch the original. Like it's on the page. Like I literally checked the other day. It was like on the front page. So like even that they want you to watch the original. So like it's just another way of making money. Which if you want to say it's a cash grab, yeah, I agree. But I did enjoy my time here. I did like I like Lilo and Stitch's dynamic. I think around Act 2 is kind of when it waned on me a bit. I understand Stitch needs to understand like responsibility with people, but he is kind of being an asshole to an unlikable degree at some point in Act 2.
Stitch. He's supposed to be.
That is one thing I saw from people's review. Like, when you see it like in an animated format, yeah, it looks funny, it looks hilarious. But when you see it in live action, you're like, oh god, this guy, you need to kick this dog out, Yeah, all the trouble he's causing, like giving your financial situation. This is a damn right liability right here,
Yeah, and I think, but I do say,
I have a question though. Did Stitch learn did Stitch learn Ohana? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, and actually, I'm gonna say this here. I made a joke about it, but like this was one of the few movies. I don't know what it is. I couldn't pinpoint it exactly. This is one of the few movies where I'm like, oh, they got it right for me. Like there are 2 scenes in the film where I'm like, oh, okay, now I feel like family. I feel like
Drowning from the animated film.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. If that's like, because I said it before. If this is how the live action does it, I'm actually really excited to see the animated movie because I already know this is like a diet version of what the animated movie was. So I can't wait to see how the animated movie tackled it. But there was like a scene in the movie, and we're doing spoilers because like the audience here is not gonna care. There's a scene in the movie where Lilo is drowning. I don't know if it's in the original, but Lilo is drowning, and Stitch is on top of Lilo, and I'm not sure if it's the same in the show. I believe it is, but like if Stitch is in water, Yeah, oh, sorry. So Spur gets harder, so he's actively weighing Lilo down. And you see a moment where Nani kicks Stitch off of Lilo, almost letting him drown essentially, just to save Lilo, which is fine. That's not there's no hate for it. And there's also like early in the movie they talk about like Ohana means family, means nobody gets left behind. They do the whole bit, except that at this point Nani doesn't really like. She's like, that's nice and all, but it's like a fantasy, whatever, yada yada. Later,
I'm just gonna leave it alone for most of the year.
Yeah. So Lilo is so in the final battle, Lilo and Stitch are fighting Jumba, and the plane crashes, and Stitch tries his hardest to save Lilo, but he's in water, and so he manages to like help her enough to get somebody else to save her, but he's stuck underwater, and Lilo is begging Nani repeatedly to go save Stitch, and Nani at first doesn't do it. And I was like, no, fuck you, go back for him. And then eventually Lilo keeps pleading. She's like, Ohana means family, no one gets left behind.
Yeah,
and she goes like, fuck. Okay. So she goes back to save Stitch. And I like this scene for two. First, she made the choice to try. And she tries, and at first she fails, and she's about to let him go. And then she's like, nah, fuck it, I can try. And she football carries Stitch from the middle of the ocean to the shore. And I was like, Ohana! It hyped me up a lot, bro. And I think that's what I like. I think we talk about some Thunderbolts. I like when it's not the fate of the world, when you don't have to do something. That's when the character gets judged. And I think that's what I really like. But she could have given up 2 different times and said, no, I care about Lilo enough. Lilo cares about Stitch enough. I'm willing to put my life on the line for this. And I think that was like really cool. I think one more inspirational parts of the movie for Awesome, say again?
Because it's funny you bring up Thunderbolts. They gave up literally multiple times during that film.
No, what happened was they got to the part where the part I'm talking about is when people say that like, oh, look at I don't know if you were here for that part.
But
okay, I thought like it was I who got cut out.
Well, they tried to run away. They didn't want to fight Bob. They fought Bob. They ran away, and they came back because they wanted to help people. They're not happy.
Yeah.
Wasn't the whole point of them
pretty much
run away from Bob?
Anyways,
Okay, yeah.
If you take anything out of this review, go watch the original.
Yeah, audience. Someone mentioned Jake. Someone tell Jake that he's out. Like
Eat trash. Don't support a soulless cash grab. Go watch Elio. I heard that movie's gonna come out soon.
Yeah. But
It's about a kid who gets to go to space.
They took out the villain and made it Gamba. Cause I don't know if y'all remember.
That's like so wrong on so many different levels.
That dude, look, a point in the movie or the show where she is stabbing this dude, and he just pushes out away because he don't want to get hurt. Like he looks evil, but he's not evil. He is theatrical.
Okay, Jake's back.
Yeah. Also, what I was referring to is like the point of the movie, and I don't know if you were here for that part. I don't know if I said it live or it was when I was talking to Cryptid. There was people online who were saying like, "Wow, look at John Walker breaking military protocol because he like took a knife out of his shoulder to go hug Bob." And I was like, "But that's like, look how much he wants to be there." I was like, but he had to. Like, it was like, you do that or you all die. It's not a good indicator of how much he cared. It was more like, I have to do this for like maybe my family, maybe at best, but it doesn't mean he cares about Bob.
Yeah.
With them coming back.
For God's sakes, audience, Bucky, who didn't even know who Bob was there for the hug, you know?
Right.
Another military man.
Them running away. Because them run away from Bob, and they end up having to fight Bob anyway. And then running away again, and then still coming back to help people.
Right, but coming back to help people because they can't. I'm saying like with Bob, the whole Bob situation, like if they don't do it, the world's destroyed. That's
sorry, my phone
like,
overheated.
The stakes.
Bob was dead. That's what I'm saying.
No problem.
Yeah, the stakes are too high for me to think that they're there for Bob on their own. That's really my thing. Yeah. It's like when it's like your life on the line. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they did save people, which like they chose to save people. And that's like a good choice. That's what makes them heroic. And I do agree that's a good moment of decision.
What are you guys talking about?
We were talking about I was talking about comparing Nani saving Stitch to like Thunderbolts.
But you know, to your credit, like
that's
they do.
That's not any fault of anyone else. I just haven't had the money or the time to go see it.
Yeah. But to your credit, no, like they do choose to save the city, which I think is a good moment of heroism. And they do go to help Yelena, which I think is a good choice, but it's in service of like we'll die anyway. That's kind of not the city, but like the Bob
city.
thing.
They didn't know Bob was there. Remember?
Right. But they said no. What? No, wait, hang on. I think I'm confusing myself. Hang on. Sorry.
So. After they lose to Bob, they think everything's over and they all run away.
Right.
But Bob gets killed by the kill switch.
Mm-hmm.
And when the stuff was falling apart, they didn't see Bob. They were just trying to help people.
Right. Which So that I agree with you. That I agree with you is a good decision. That's why I like that scene. I think that scene's good. I don't have a problem with that. I'm talking about the hug scene in particular. Why it doesn't hit with me. That's what I was saying. But and compare that to the Nani scene where she saves Stitch. There was nothing at stake but just Lilo's feelings. And I think that's what made it like hit for me. It was like you didn't have to do that, but you did.
And the cartoon, it is the world though.
It is. Well, okay, we'll see in the cartoon. We'll see in the cartoon.
Lilo, she's trying to keep Lilo with her. She has to save Stitch.
Okay. Well, I'll make that judgment.
Like, now when she's more focused on trying to. No. So in this movie, she does find Lilo a burden, but she doesn't want to lose Lilo in the same sense.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's how she acts like how an older sibling acts to their younger sibling when they act annoying as shit.
Yeah. Which is the same.
Which is the same. Like in this movie.
Yeah. Which is the same here. Like Lilo, I mean, Nani is trying desperately to do it, and I do like that they show like it's really just because like in this one, I don't know if they wanted to just get rid of the message because of politics at the time, but in this movie, it's very clear that like it just won't work out. Like it's like Lilo is too young and immature for this to really work with and she's too inexperienced as being an adult and a caretaker for this to work.
That was in the original too, and they what she needed is support.
But like Jake, that's my problem with saying like, oh, I'm going to go off to college. They're not going to give you the experience to take care of a child.
No, but she's not doing that to take care of a child. She's doing that because that's a part of her dream. And Lilo thinks that it's not fair that she's giving that up when Lilo herself feels like she's fine. Like that's why it's like it's because it's like they even say it in the movie. It's like Ohana means family and being there for your family, but you also have to be capable of being there for yourself because you are also a part of the family, and everyone's helping her make that decision. So that was the lesson of the film.
When this shit comes back, it's like, yeah, I regret doing that because you've been gone from what your fucking sucks. These names are like.
I mean, when you got a portal gun, and you could visit or you could take a plane. I mean, it's
again, that portal gun was just there to be the doorstep, the one foot out the door.
Doesn't mean that she will. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
that's
when the second. I was in kind of a similar situation, but my mom. It wasn't a sister. It was my mom. She was basically a child too, and now look at us.
But what you're saying, also what you're arguing is for a sequel to tackle. But in terms of what this movie's saying, like that's what I'm saying. But as far as what
are you talking about?
Huh? Wait, who's talking about? What?
A sequel has already been announced.
Okay. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
What?
Okay. All right. Okay. So I guess we'll see in the sequel.
I thought they were taking a break from
because the movie was good. The sequel was announced because this movie made 2 billion toy sales.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
About the fucking toy sales.
Okay. So I guess we'll see where that goes. But as far as it is now, we'll see how the decision plays out in the next movie. But as far as this movie is concerned, I'm okay with it. But yeah, I understand that in the original movie, there was different circumstances that would make that decision terrible. So I get that. But yeah, I think there's some things I did kind of wish was stayed in the movie. I wish Myrtle had more of a like iconic scenes like she does because I've seen clips of it. I think Myrtle's and I'm sorry, like even in the show, Myrtle's just like a bitch. I love like sticking it to her. So I do kind of miss it just not being there.
Give back Cleekly's fuck ass Bob. I missed that.
Yeah, but
like Gantu and what else?
Bring back everyone.
I did find Jumba interesting. Well, he's not the Jumba that I want. I want like Stitch's dad Jumba. I like that.
Wait.
This feels like, from what I've heard,
the main. Let me say this real quick. Please.
Yeah.
I will say the main thing I don't like about the ending because I think it's a cop out. I think all these movies where they try to rewrite the message of sacrifice and stuff to be like, well, you don't actually have sacrifice. It's always the best of both worlds. A lot of times they're not the best of both worlds. Sometimes you do have sacrifice to do stuff. No. So I don't like how all the times when the characters make tough decisions, they get the easy way out just because it's convenient. The second time the movie comes out or something like that.
Oh, that's fine. I can see that. I can see that. That's fine.
Nani's choosing to take care of Lilo despite how hard it was being. It's about how annoying she found Lilo because she actually did think about giving Lilo up in the original film. There was one point
and it almost happened. Bubbles almost took Lilo away until he decided to not do that.
So
there was a lot of nuances that they took away from the live action, which does not work.
So I get the idea that having another dream, sometimes tell people you don't have to put aside your dream and stuff, but sometimes you have to make those hard decisions. And with more movies, especially kids' movies, keep taking that shit out, no kid's gonna be prepared to actually do what they need to do.
That's
I think that's a problem.
And hopefully in the sequel they tackle it because, like I said, it's not impossible for them to solve a relationship. Also, I think the movie glosses over this too. I don't know why Nani doesn't have a phone. Or she's dealing with Lilo. It's the main issue because in the original it was before cell phones were a big thing, but they established that cell phones exist in this universe. So I was realistically, I mean, even y'all should be good to communicate anyway. But I don't know why your family doesn't have a phone, but whatever.
So another thing, didn't Nani leave Lilo with a neighbor or something like that?
She left her with a family friend who's been helping take care of her and Lilo anyway, and so then after
I know that I know Lilo and Nani know this person, but at the same time it kind of reminds me of when a child goes into foster care and they have to go from house to house. Sometimes I don't know. It just kind of seemed like they were gonna do something like that.
No, that's what they said. That's why they did it because it was she was saying it's better because you've grown up with this person. She's always helping you guys anyway, and you know her. And they also show that
still could feel like that, though.
They also show that she has an active part in Lilo's growth anyway. She's even the reason that Lilo got Stitch in the beginning. So she's very a part of her life.
But do you see what I'm talking about though?
In this case, not necessarily, but. If it was
in general, you see what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, if there wasn't the context.
Yeah, if it was a foster, if she was taken away and given to people that didn't know her, sure, I would.
Yeah,
but she's with the friend who she's known all her life.
Right.
I don't know. It just everything about this just does not feel right. It just seems so wrong in so many different ways, and I feel like this movie should not have been made. But whatever. No one wants to listen to me. No one likes to listen to me and my.
That's the same feeling for a lot of live action films, so you're not alone in that. Which let's put it
that way. And out of everything to remake, this one should not have been the movie to remake.
Yeah, I agree in that sense. I don't.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
when I would have remade first.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's just me personally, but no one wants to hear that nonsense.
Yeah. But yeah, I think. But I did find Jumba interesting as an antagonist. Still, I liked how he was in a backward sense. He does see Stitch as his family too. I think he says it once too. He's like, oh, you talk about this Ohana stuff. You kind of my family, right? Listen, but we don't care about all this we don't care about feelings. We don't destroy shit. Yeah, let's destroy shit. He's not his
original cartoon too.
Okay. So I guess he just did that without the character development.
Yeah. He says that same speech. Because he himself has problems, connecting with people.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's him and the other guy.
Yeah.
But did you see the cameos?
From the show? Oh, I did see the experiments. They showed the girl one and the one that was with
tour guide lady was the voice of Nani in the original movie, and the voice of her male friend was in this film too. A bunch of the actual actors. Was actors.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice.
I am mixed on the way I don't know if it's in the original, but I'm mixed on the way they got around the ugly duckling reference. Because of what Stitch is. But instead of doing that, the symbolism is that he goes to Lilo. The first time he meets Lilo, he's trying to pretend to be a dog, and he uses a picture a poster of a dog hugging a human as like his frame of reference, and the first time he does it is just to pretend that he
Yeah, he
loves
does that
Lilo.
too.
Yeah, I think and I like that it's used to show his growth, but it's also like that, like Stitch, like realistically, like, you're not like an actual dog, like you're not like a pet, like you're like a person, like. So I
I know.
No, the problem is well, it kind of, but wait, does this movie have the blonde chick?
Blonde chick, blonde chick.
Blonde
Like,
with glasses, little girl.
Oh, Myrtle, is that what you're talking about?
she's a
Yeah.
redhead. A ginger.
Yeah, she's a redhead, but she's there, but she doesn't do as. She's not as like
Yeah.
memorable.
That was
Yeah.
the only reason he was really trying to be a dog.
Yeah, and
She
this
was
one,
taking him to school and stuff, and he kept messing with her. So you have to convince him to a dog, but they do have to go.
yeah, in this one, it was that Stitch is in the pound or whatever, or in the dog pet shop or whatever, and Lilo wants to adopt a dog, and Stitch is trying to get away.
Too. She
Yeah,
paid $2 for that nigga.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
Stitch is trying to get away from Jumba, and he sees a bunch of dogs, and he's like, "Oh, I guess people adopt dogs, so I'm gonna like pretend to be a dog." He goes, "Oh, yeah, so
I'll be right back, guys.
okay." So he pretends to be a dog, and he pretends to be a dog, and I like that you see him try to shapeshift his body because he has like the evil Stitch body. I think from like they get some Stitch has a glitch. I don't know if it's in the original, but that's what it was here. And so he slowly changes his body to approximate as close as he can to a dog until he finally gets it, and then he gives her like the hug and stuff like that. That's how they. That's how.
How'd you know?
What's up?
Death Battle had Stitch beat Rocket Raccoon.
That's funny as hell.
I know he's smart, but I don't know if he's that smart. I haven't seen these.
No, it's more that he's too durable.
Oh, I see. That's possible.
I don't really trust the death battles as much. But
They did pretty well. It just Rocket in the last few years is like very soft. Like he's been getting hurt like a lot. So Stitch didn't have to do a lot to actually kill him. Compared to what Rocket had to do to kill him.
Yeah. I think with Lilo, I think is both like I think Lilo is fun because it's like, God damn it, I know kids kids just want to struggle like this, bro. Like it pisses me off because like it's like she understands the stakes of the situation, but she doesn't really understand it. And so like sometimes I'm like, Lilo, just like sit down.
That's
Like
what it was in the original cartoon too.
yeah.
Jake,
What's up?
does the movie show that she thinks the fish killed her parents?
I don't remember. I know she explains it to Stitch very loosely. I don't remember that she says that. I know at the beginning she fed a fish or something, but
yeah, she fed a fish, some stuff happened, and then her parents died. So for her child mind, she always thought this fish killed her parents.
okay. In the beginning of the movie, she's on her way to dance practice. She's like, "You're late because you fed a fish."
What was the fish's name? I know it starts with a P. I just don't remember what the fish.
Yeah, it's a P something. It's been so long.
Yeah. I do kind of miss the Elvis iconography. They did Elvis is in the mention in the movie, but they don't do like the whole like my glorious king Elvis bit. So like I kind of do miss that. But yeah, I think it's fun. It's the first time I watched these Disney movies. Like usually I watch them like, oh okay, they're not like as hateable. People make them out to be online, but like this one, I was like,
Pudge the fish.
Hush the fish, yeah. But I think this one,
fish. That's his name, Pudge.
This was like the first time where like I really enjoyed what I saw, and this was the first time I remember just like rooting for something to happen in one of these movies. So I gotta say,
that's what I tell people. I said if you didn't watch the original film, there's nothing in this movie that would make you dislike this film, from my understanding.
Right. Yeah.
You know I'm recording.
Yeah. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, I would have to let me think of everything. Well, like I said, the visuals are the problem too. I think Stitch maybe could have used a better scene. Stitch just kind of mellows out. I think I want to say like Lilo's so much like him, but also that she's able to correct him enough, like he's willing to listen to her when he because it comes to a point where he's acting up, and then Lilo eventually just convinces like, yo, just like stop, I don't want to have fun anymore, and she's like, okay. And like eventually, like he just mellows out a bit from there, and then they do the whole montage where she teaches him how to be a good person. But I don't think I think there could have been like a scene that made him just be like, you know what, like no, like I'm gonna be better. And I'm not sure if it's in the movie, but they don't they realize way too late that Stitch is like an actual alien because like by the time everyone gets on board that like Stitch is from space, it's like literally in the last 30 minutes. It's not even Lilo knows.
Like, they kind of figure it out kind of early on.
They
Yeah.
try saying in the original cartoon that Stitch is a rare breed of dog. Like,
Yeah, but even Lilo doesn't. I mean, Lilo. I think the closest she gets is she knows that they do the scene in the movie where she uses him to play as a record player. And I thought like, but Nani doesn't see it, so Nani doesn't know that he's an alien, or she doesn't pick up on it. Like she plays it for him for Nani, but Nani isn't looking. I don't know if that's in the original, but like yeah, but
no, in the original, I do recall that scene where Lilo did show the record thing with Stitch to Nani. You know, so
yeah, she's showing it to Nani, but Nani's too busy focusing on her thing to really like see it, so she's not really processing that she's doing it.
Oh well, in the anime, in the movie itself, she full blown sees it. You know.
Okay. I think that scene's supposed to.
Yeah,
I think they
because
changed.
like Lilo and Stitch wake up Nani, and then they do the thing.
Yeah.
I think that scene's just supposed to highlight how busy Nani is that she can't really see things that obvious, but I don't know. I think I would have liked if maybe someone figured out Stitch was an alien a little bit earlier, but I guess I might have detracted from like what the movie is. But I think I would have to give this one an 8. I think this is the highest one I can give for one of these Disney live action movies. I'd watch it again maybe like once a year. But yeah.
In conclusion, go watch the original movie. You'll have a way better time.
I'll watch this movie at some point just out of curiosity to see, you know, how if it's good or not, you know. So
yeah, and also yes, you can go watch the original because Disney says please do. They put on their fucking homepage. They said what? They're like, please God, once you're done watching Lilo and Stitch the movie, come back and watch Lilo and Stitch the fucking movie. Okay, we worked hard on this shit.
All the shows. Go watch the show.
Yeah.
Because Stitch is such a profitable character that it's easy to.
Yeah. Yep. That's
we can't be on the
and don't go to Hawaii.
Yeah, no, you know, it's true. It's true. Okay, that's why we're wrapping up here. So we're moving on.
All right. So, audience, we're done the media news. Now we're moving on to comic news.
It's all ugly, that photo, by the way.
Huh? What was that, Austin?
That thumbnail picture you had of him and Leo, he's so ugly in that photo.
I wasn't sure about that. I don't really like that picture, but it was the best I could find.
That's a horrible picture.
Yeah, it was the best I could find. Like every other picture was kind of like,
Anyway, let me announce this topic, audience. So Frank Castle returns back as the Punisher in comics,
and he has a skull logo.
Yeah, it's a skull. And audience, this is textbook Frank Castle right here, as according to the author. He's going to return in Punisher Red Band #1. Oh, so they're even giving him the Red Band label. Yeah, which if there's any character in Marvel that deserves a Red Band treatment, it definitely would be Punisher, you know. But it is going to be a limited series.
Real question is, will there be 2 different versions of this book? One Red Band, one regular, or is it just Red Band? Because they did that with Werewolf by only Red Band.
You kind of have to give it the Red Band at that point. There's no
it's a miniseries. They're all doing the Red Band.
Yeah. So
dude, ever since Marvel did Blood Hunt with the Red Band, they're like, we're gonna give all these characters Red Bands.
Well,
we're gonna polybag but it's only with like gore, but they never do it with like say anything more sexual or anything like that.
The Red Band isn't meant for sexual.
Yeah.
So Marvel for the swimsuit special.
Yeah, sexual is a different sort of topic. You know, that's more of a like
for
Black
the
Label
swimsuit special. Marvel polybag that shit.
Okay, but anyway, so yeah, audience. I know Frank Castle, the Punisher, has been put on hiatus for a good long while, but I think enough time has passed for the heat of outside factors to kind of die down a bit. So
I think it's only because he was in Daredevil. If they didn't bring him back for Daredevil, if the actor couldn't come back, he would not come back.
That is also another factor because when's that 1 hour Daredevil Punisher special going to happen? I forgot.
It should be before season 2 comes out.
Okay. So we're getting it at some point in the near future, just like we're getting this series. So yeah, and I looked at the article, right? This seeing what the writer wrote and that stuff, what he had to say with regard to this book. Now, audience, there have been interviews with writers that have killed the hype of books in the past. Like, I'll keep going back to Joe Garrison. The last time they tried making somebody new for the Punisher.
The Punisher never had a rogues gallery. I'm gonna give him his first one.
Yep, and I have to be responsible with writing a Punisher. So I'm gonna make my version of Punisher not based on any real world military, and I'm gonna make sure his weapons are deadly but not realistic, and I'm gonna make sure his microchip.
Something unrealistic. He deserves something unrealistic every once in a while.
Every once in a while, but no, that was supposed to be Joe Garrison's thing. He was not actually supposed to have any guns.
This guy who was inspired by the Punisher decided to be nothing like the Punisher.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna make sure my Punisher has a therapist who's also his microchip, and she's a diverse woman of color. There. Yeah. This
What's
is
wrong with the diverse woman of color, Cryptid?
No, but I'm just saying.
It was more like the dude was trying to do a check block of stuff he thought was
women
okay.
of color, Cryptid? Are you trying to tell me something?
What? No, I'm just saying.
Cancel
Like
on Twitter,
this is
guys. Cancel Cryptid on Twitter. He doesn't like women of color.
This is anti-marketing.
Like
dude, I'm saying that was anti-marketing. Like when you replaced, like, let's say microchips.
Yeah, anti-marketing for the fucking alt-right pipeline bitches who don't get no bitches.
No,
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It's true. I don't give a shit, Cryptid. You know that's damn well right.
We don't give a fuck about those people.
No one was gonna give a shit about this book anyways.
Yes, they were
completely wrong, which, like, in this book.
Wait. People were genuinely going to give Joe Garrison a chance when we first heard about it. Because we knew they were going out their way not to use Frank. We knew they were, like, people were already mad. They were going to give this guy a chance. And then they went the opposite direction of everything the Punisher stands for. Or what he does.
Yes.
Cryptid, I'm still canceling you on Twitter, Cryptid. If you don't like women of color. You hear
Sales of that Punisher were so bad that, you know how, like, most comics nowadays are made for a trade format, right? Which is usually between 4 and 6 issues of a comic series, right? They couldn't even give Joe Garrison like 6 issues. They immediately canceled him at issue 4 because, again,
you put that in a mini trade,
huh?
You put that in a mini trade.
But which the idea was the writer was writing for the long run. He wanted to eventually have that Joe Garrison meet Spider-Man. He wanted to introduce a whole rogues gallery. He was setting up villains.
And then he lied. It was like, oh, actually, this is all I wanted to write for the guy.
Yeah. I'm sorry, dude. I like the fact that you're writing Captain Planet. I forgot his name, but I know he is writing Captain Planet right now. It's enjoyable, audience. Go pick it up. But, dude, your Punisher run was a failure, dude. We all know that. But
it's the same thing about a lot of people.
Going back to this, right? I'm reading the interview that Benjamin Percy says. He is saying everything that you should be saying to get fans hyped up for a book like that you're going to be writing, right? Let me read it. Frank Cancel, the dark-hearted vengeance machine, that monster who fights monsters, is one of my all-time favorite characters. And Punisher is a series I've been gunning to write for a long, long time. Not only is Frank back in black, but this is a red band book. You know what that means? I'm going to lean in fully and push the very limits of my favorite genre. You know, the hairy psychopaths. This is going to be as gritty and bloody as it gets. Street level mayhem awaits you. And Julius Ota, who I collaborated with previously on Helverine, is bringing all the blood and fire and rage to the page with his beautiful, terrifying art. And yeah, I already did.
The question is I want to see you the Punisher torture people like he did in Punisher Max.
You might very well see it, man. Again, if you want to be true to
Punisher Max is, if you want to read a Punisher book, but the people call the best Punisher is that, because that Punisher was full on unhinged. That Punisher was in the prime of his killing. He did not care. You didn't want to give him information. He was torturing you. All of it was on the page.
Yep.
And that's the only time he ever did that.
He's that hardcore, audience. Also, that was what the writer said, right? Now, let me read the actual synopsis of this book. Reread and reload, true believers. Frank Castle's back with no memories, a full clip, and the thirst for wrathful vengeance.
Oh God,
His
not
violent,
How do you have a thirst for vengeance? You don't remember anything.
wait, no. His violent search for answers could only be chronicled in a Red Band series. Bullets will fly, blood will flow, and the citizens and criminals of New York
Bro,
alike will fear the name the Punisher.
you can just go to New York and meet brother. What his name? Brother Matthew. He would just tell you what happened. He was there.
I guess. But we do see some preview pictures of what the first issue is going to entail. You see Frank Castle; he's already literally covered in blood. He's in what looks like a war zone right now. Fires all around him. People have been shot in the head. Corpses are around him. Oh, dude, this is freaking a Punisher book, audience. So yeah.
Have you seen a movie called Extraction with Chris Hemsworth?
Extraction, Chris Hemsworth. I've heard that movie. I never actually got to see it.
Okay, one day we're gonna have to watch it because when I think of like Punisher and how he should fight, that's pretty much it. And but I can't describe it until you see the movie.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, this is everything from the synopsis to what the writer is going in with the mentality of. This is what a Punisher fan would expect to want to read, And yeah, the whole thing about no memories thing, I think they're just going. It's hard to say whether they're going to quietly sweep under the rug what happened to Frank when Jason Aaron was writing him. The whole thing about him being in Weird World. So, but do we really need an explanation as to how he back in New York?
The only thing you have to really address is the wife situation. I mean, it's a situation a little bit too big to not talk about.
Yeah, that's more of a time bomb because the last time we saw his wife, audience, she left Frank. It was revealed that she is pregnant. So
none of Frank.
So whatever writer was going to want to pick up that storyline.
If you take anything out of this, don't get into a relationship with Frank Castle. It ain't gonna end well for you. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, that was his first.
He died, but he came back to life.
Exactly. My point.
That was the wife that got killed.
You know about it, and then go kill people.
Yeah.
She died, but she came back to life. Yeah, that's more than most people.
But I mean,
he cut out again.
Horrible people, So I mean, I think the only other relationship I know he had was with Elektra, but that was it. That one time, So
yeah.
No, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. So yeah, this seems like something Punisher fans all around would want to read. So let's go for it, audience. He's back with the skull in his chest. He's raining down Hail Marys all over.
He always had a skull
to
in
the
his
villains
chest.
of New York. Well, not
He
really.
always-
Like we didn't.
I literally said that he always has a skull on his chest, but it just changed the shape of what it looked like. It's still a skull. It's just different.
From the last one,
a demon.
Yeah.
You know damn well I'm right. Anyways.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
If you want to read the new Punisher book, go ahead. I know I'm not reading it because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I have other characters.
If you show that design of when he was like, with the hand, right? If you show that design to anybody, is a Punisher skull going to come up to your head when you see that? No. Yep.
Thanks, Cox. You almost ruined the Punisher for us.
Well, he's back now, so that first issue better sell is what I'm saying, audience.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust the first issue, by the way. I would let's give it 5 issues and then we can come back to the conversation.
It is a miniseries after all. So.
Yeah, let's wait till the miniseries ends and then we can come back to this conversation. I'm not counting the number 1 appearance.
I mean, Frank is a big character that a lot of people love, so yeah.
Yeah, very specific people.
Yeah, like my comic book shop owner. Yeah. So All right, you guys have any final thoughts on this before we move on?
I don't trust a lot of comic book fans.
Austin, you have any final thoughts?
To kill criminals.
Gotcha.
Sheriff,
all right, then. I guess with that, let's move on to the next topic, audience. Which do you want to announce this one?
Oh yeah, we're getting an Ultimate Hawkeye book with Charlie Ramsey. Fuck yeah, I'm picking this shit up. It's a one shot, but I'm gonna be picking this up because they are really cool. And I don't care what anyone says. Charlie is really cool. I like their personality. They deserve the world. And let me hold your hand, Charlie. Let me take you out to dinner, please, and let me give you a kiss on the forehead.
I gotta say this. I know we were all so hyped up when we first saw that first image of Ultimate Hawkeye, right? You know, that cover, like that was poster worthy right there. This one covered though, I gotta say, kind of feels like a little bit of a downgrade. Come on, you gotta be honest, right?
You know damn well we're getting variant covers.
Me and what you're talking about this. It seems like the first page always just be terrible now. Compared to variant covers.
Yep.
Like just look at Spider-Man. Like every Spider-Man picture, like every Peter Parker Spider-Man cover has been terrible. Like the last 3 years. The variant cover has been great.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, there you go. You know, so they just want you to buy those other variants.
Question is, I probably will be buying all the variants. I'm not gonna lie to you there. I am actually kind of excited to see what this entails. Does anyone know when this book is coming out?
Ooh, let me look that up. You guys continue talking about this.
I don't remember, but like I haven't been fully keeping up with Ultimates, but from what I've been keeping up, Charlie is definitely like all like the new people who did not come from who don't really have their own version in the 616 counterpart, if that makes sense. Like Ultimate She-Hulk and Ultimate Hawkeye are probably some of the best. Who would have known DEI does actually help assholes?
Awesome. You were saying something?
Like seeing these superheroes come from like different backgrounds are very interesting, and they do create like more nuances with how the world works and for certain people. And I think like them having Charlie be an indigenous two-spirit person was a great decision in my opinion. It's different. And I don't care what anyone says.
Yes, but like you said, you didn't have to give them an established hero's name to do that. They still would have been identity. That's the point.
It just so happened that Charlie did take up the mantle because Clint didn't want to fucking do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have had his own title, his own identity.
They go by they then, by the way.
I said they.
Yep.
You said he.
Yeah. No, it's they, I think.
No, I definitely said. Anyway, did you find the date?
I didn't.
It's on sale on September. So
okay, so we got some time. We got some time to speculate.
I'm not that interested in this book because it's set in the past. He's going to be going against the Maker. He's obviously not going to win. So.
Oh, okay. You can hear me, right?
Yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
you like commented for a little bit and then you cut out.
Yeah, it's going to be his first time for trying to take down the Maker and stuff. And there's other heroes I would have rather got a one shot for first.
Yeah.
How their stuff was.
Yeah.
Like I like Charlie.
Yeah.
But since we know he's going to fail whatever he's doing against the Maker, it doesn't make the book interesting to me to want to wait. They're to announce it months ahead of time. If that makes sense.
I don't know. I think since like this new Ultimate Universe is so like it's still very new and very fresh. People are like, we gotta capitalize on this. But I think like
it's like one of those situations where at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, but it's like one of the situations where at the end of the day, the mission's gonna be Charlie's gonna go. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Kill him, wait.
I'm gonna kill you now, Cryptid, and then we're gonna revive you in about a week or so.
But we know
Sonic X is a TV show about Sonic.
Jesus Christ! We're still here with the talk about it. Yes, speak your truth. Jesus.
Cryptid?
Jake, please make some Discord. Tell me just fucking talk.
Just Cryptid, if you hear us, type it out what you're trying to say in the Discord, and then we'll just read it verbatim.
Yeah. Did you know in Sonic X Japanese
Dude.
version, Sonic and Amy have telepathy? I
Bro,
did not
Jesus
know that.
Christ,
Especially-
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
just, I didn't know
Anyways,
that.
I think I don't know. I don't remember if they gave us a description of what the book's gonna be about. But
They
if
told you.
I think it might be about like what Charlie was doing when they first got the mantle, when they chose to take up the mantle of Hawkeye. Dealing with Roxxon.
No, it's him going into Maker. I'm telling you, that's what it is.
Is that what it said in an article?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think it would have been interesting.
That was like, if it was going to Roxxon, then sure. But you're going to put him against the Maker before all this happened. We know he's going to lose. That's why I'm not interested in the book.
You keep saying he.
So early. Hey, he's not going to be defended about this?
Still, it's the least you can do. Like,
least I can do is buy his book so he can keep having the book.
Charlie goes by they them pronouns. That's been established since they got introduced.
And that's why they're ultimate.
Exactly. They're the best.
Oh. Did you know when Crypto disconnected, it started raining and thundering? So I like to think that I disconnected him.
The universe was like, no, we don't want to hear your nonsense.
Well, are we moving on to the next topic?
Yeah. I'm excited for this book. I will definitely be picking it up.
Okay.
Yeah, let's move on. Unless it's a cryptid topic, then we're fucked. And then you can talk about Sonic X. I don't know. Oh, I think I saw something about this. I think I saw a Peach Momoko cover.
Well, let me
Miles Morales gets two new thieves, a white cat, and some Inari Fox woman.
Do you think the white cat has to be bisexual, because we have already discussed that all cat-based superheroes or supervillains or anti-heroes, they all have to have some flavor of bisexuality. That's how it works.
Miles getting another fucking hand-me-down.
How about you stop making them generic then and let this person be their own thing?
Is Miles getting another fucking hand-me-down spinoff character, bro? What's going on? Okay.
He always does.
Let me have something,
Okay,
Austin. We don't have enough queer characters, man. I can use some more that aren't just cis white gay men. Okay, let me have something for once in my life.
No.
Okay, I'm back.
Don't you ever disrespect the living like that.
Yeah,
let me have something. Anyways, cool. Cryptid, hi. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Do you know this topic?
Okay, so yeah, Miles Morales' comic introduces two new characters. One of which is going to be the White Cat, which was the sidekick of Black Cat from thanks to Spider Boy. So yeah, his footprint his footprint audience will still remain in Marvel history. Is what I'm trying to say. So, but now we also are going to be getting a 2-for-1 special in this situation, because we're going to be introduced to another character who's looks like it's going to be the female love interest of the Black Cat equivalent to Miles. Let me see if I can find her name.
Inari.
These are some of her designs, which you are required to buy this cover.
You know that, right?
You were required to buy this cover. You know that, right?
Yeah, I might buy. If I see it, I'll buy it. Maybe.
Which?
I don't have every single fucking Peach Momoko cover. Leave me alone.
You're a Peach Momoko.
Yeah, I like her.
Your favorite
I like her stuff,
but
that doesn't mean Bro, I don't make a lot of money. I can only spend my money on so much stuff in my life. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Are you telling me you don't like poor people either, Cryptid? What are you trying to tell me? I don't have a lot of money.
Anything.
You're telling me to buy the cover. You don't know my financial situation.
Okay, so the other character's name, this character's name is Inari. So she's going to be introduced in this book. So yeah, you're going to have a double first appearance audience. Okay. Let me read what it had to say on her. We really wanted to give her a distinct.
Maybe you shouldn't have read it. I'm sorry.
The fact that
Cryptid, we did not hear 90% of that.
Oh, okay. You guys hear me now?
Yeah.
How about now?
Do you want to try that again?
How about now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Yeah, go find his article.
we really wanted to give her a distinct visual to her. You guys hear me?
Jake, or someone, please read this.
Please read what? The article? Where's
Go on the hot topic and find his article, please.
Guys, how about now?
Can you send the article to Jake so that he could read it?
I am an experienced reader. Okay, I didn't go to college for 5 years to not be able to read.
It's like I didn't go to school not to be able to read.
Did you actually know there was I'm getting this article. Did you know there was a high schooler that graduated with honors but also couldn't read, and then now she's suing the school?
Damn.
Yeah.
As she should.
Why
are you suing the school? You graduated.
Because the school didn't properly prepare her because they were unaware
of high school. You should have learned to read in elementary school. That's not our fault.
Well, yeah.
There are kids who don't know how to read.
Yeah. So basically, by the way, I'm still looking for the article. Don't worry. I'm still. I'm just trying to fill up time. Okay. Basically, God damn it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here's the server. Okay. Oh. So basically, she had like dyslexia and ODD or something like that. And they at elementary school they didn't really help her out that much. And then in high school, what's the article called, by the way?
Something
Miles Morales, Student Villains.
Meets Marvel newest super thieves, Miles Morales. Okay. Yeah, basically she had the school didn't help her out that much. That's basically what it is. Okay, anyway. So am I reading the whole thing? What am I reading?
Just read about this character.
Okay, may look familiar to sharp-eyed fans. She was first introduced in part of Marvel's New Champions variant cover initiative, but this issue marks her first official entry to the Marvel mythos. Check out covers and designs below. That's it. That's all it says.
All right, what about Inari?
It doesn't say. The one I picked doesn't say.
There are two characters here. You read one from one of them.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a different article for it?
No, it's just a big article.
Oh,
you said that it meet two new villains.
Yeah, I know, but they didn't. Oh, well, yeah, appearances of Inari and White Cat, two brand new sticks. Misty Light alongside. Okay. Okay, let's do this one. Written by Cody Ziegler with art by Luigi Zagaria. The issue marks the first full appearance of Inari and White Cat, two brand new high stakes players in the Marvel Universe. These slick, superpowered thieves are making waves across Brooklyn, and it's up to Miles, fresh off the chaos of God War, to stop them. But he's not alone. Misty Knight is leading the charge and may just call in a certain feline expert for backup. Alongside
Wait. So there y'all can have them legit be Aries. And then can't stop two fucking cat thieves?
Yeah. Fresh off, bro. They're tired. They're tired and exhausted. Well, okay, we're reading the article.
We're reading the article because you couldn't.
Boost his speed by like 9 times, Jake, okay? This isn't like Peter Parker. Casually getting distracted and stuff. Miles should not lose.
It's true. We really wanted to give her a distinct visual to reflect her power set and background, Clark tells. I aped. Playful yet powerful. Sleek but capable. Not a killer, but she'll do what's needed for the finer things in life. The fact that her powers
So we had Pete Momoko make the art design, even though we know it won't translate that well with the new artist.
Yes. The fact that her powers are light-based was such a fun challenge and reflect her versatility in any situation. She's crafty. Very excited to see her make her big debut. White Cat may look familiar to Sharp. Yeah, that's an over. Yeah, that's all I got. There's nothing about Inari here. So.
There you go. Thank you for reading it when our pod mate couldn't.
Well, you know that's the Wi-Fi. That's Wi-Fi life.
I mean, I like her design. I don't know why, but it reminds me of that one skin from Fortnite.
It looks like she's gonna have a light-based companion.
It looks like she should be in the Ultimate Comics, bro. Like I don't know.
It looks like she needs to be in Fortnite.
She looks like she belongs in the Ultimate X-Men.
That's what I'm saying.
She belongs in the Ultimate X-Men comic. That's what she looks like.
She's made by the same person. We just talked about that.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Momoko.
I had talked for so long. I just wanted to give you guys like the floor for the rest of the night, so I just kind of like my bad.
No, that's my problem with me making designs for everything because they don't fit the other universes or the art styles.
Yeah,
that's gonna be my biggest problem.
Queen like
when
that.
Ultimate X-Men fully crossover, ain't nobody disrespecting your fucking queen.
No, it's really you're really not gonna know what she looks like till you see in her different art style. Really,
that's what I'm saying. So if you have her draw the base design, and then the next person has to make that design into another thing, and you're not going to keep drawing her, just let me make the design.
Bro, you chill out, man. It's fine. It's all good. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
We will. Was that the last time?
We've seen other artists like perfectly draw Peach's designs perfectly well.
But we'll see. But I guess was that everything we have to say?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say, man. I'm not really reading this book.
And none of us are. We start talking about Miles.
All right. Well, I guess
I'm not a big Miles fan, man. I like other characters more.
Well, all this we live and learn.
Can we talk about this is the third new character he got?
Oh, was this the last topic?
Yeah, remember 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, he got the therapist.
The boost upstairs.
Yeah. So I got like, what, you got a new villain or something? Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Remember, like 3 weeks ago, he got the therapist lady.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I felt like Miles was just too much. I don't know. I was like, I don't know.
He had the therapist Hulk lady.
Oh, okay. Oh, the she's like a Hulk. Yeah. You said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I don't care.
Well,
you had to fight God. Now you're like, oh, he had to go on Black Cat, and she got a sidekick. Yeah.
Well, what we do care about is our comic reviews, which we'll be doing tomorrow. So stay tuned.
We'll see you tomorrow, nerds.
Yeah, we'll have our usual.
I'm in a lot of pain.
We will have our usual.
Yeah, Austin lives to live on the hang of the lives to hang on the edge of tomorrow. We'll see him there.
Let's see if Cryptid can survive tomorrow.
But yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cryptid just disconnected again. What a poetic way to end the night. Let's get the